Let's cut the excuses. Right now, you are wasting time. You say you want to change. You say you want success. You say you want a better life. But what are you doing? Scrolling, watching, waiting, wishing. Enough. Every second you waste is a second of your life you will never get back. That's the truth. And the truth hurts, but it's supposed to. Because pain wakes you up. Pain forces you to move. You need to look in the mirror and be real with yourself. How much time have you wasted in the past year, the past 5 years? You could have learned a new skill. You could have built something. You could have transformed your body, your mind, your entire life. But instead, you chose comfort. Comfort is the enemy. It whispers in your ear, telling you, take it easy, do it later, one more episode, one more hour of sleep. And before you know it, your dreams are gone. Not because they were impossible, but because you never got off your ass and chased them. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another pep talk. What you need is discipline. What you need is to get up when you don't feel like it. What you need is to stop lying to yourself. You say you don't have time? Bullshit. Wake up earlier. Cut out the distractions. Stop scrolling. Stop binge watching. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. It's on you. You have one life, one shot, and every wasted day is a step closer to regret. So ask yourself, do you want to look back and say, I wish I had, or do you want to look back and say, damn right I did? The choice is yours. Get up, get after it, and start living like you mean it. Stop making excuses. That's the first thing you need to do. Right now, you're telling yourself a story about why you're not where you want to be. You've convinced yourself that you're different, that your situation is special, that you have reasons why you can't move forward. That's bullshit. Everyone has problems. Everyone has obstacles. Everyone has pain, but not everyone lets those things stop them. Some people find a way, and some people find an excuse. Which one are you? Excuses are the lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable. They make you feel better about being average. You say, I don't have time. That's a lie. You had the same 24 hours as everyone else. You just choose to waste them. You scroll through your phone, you binge watch shows, you sleep in when you could be grinding. You say, I don't have the resources. Another lie. You have the internet. You have books. You have knowledge at your fingertips. But instead of using it, you complain. You say, I'm too tired. But you're not too tired to waste time. You're not too tired to sit on your ass and do nothing. The truth is, you don't want it bad enough. If you did, nothing would stop you. Think about the moments in your life when you had no choice but to act. When your back was against the wall. When you had to push through. You didn't have the option to be lazy. You didn't have the option to make excuses. And guess what? You did it. You found a way. So why aren't you doing that now? Because you've let yourself off the hook. You've given yourself an easy way out. Look around. Look at your life. If you're not where you want to be, it's because of you. It's because you haven't demanded more from yourself. It's because you've accepted a weak version of yourself. You've let yourself believe that you can take it slow, that you can wait for the right time. There is no right time. The only time is now. People say, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is the biggest lie you tell yourself. Tomorrow is a fantasy. Tomorrow never comes. When you wake up, it will still be today. And you'll make the same excuses all over again. I'm too busy. I don't feel ready. I'll start next week. And the cycle continues. Before you know it, years have passed and you're in the same place. No progress, no growth, just more wasted time. Excuses are easy. Putting in the work is hard. That's why most people never reach their goals. That's why most people live average lives, filled with regret and what ifs. They look back and realize they wasted time. They realize they could have been great, but they let excuses control them. And the worst part, they can't get that time back. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. You can fix mistakes, but you can't undo wasted years. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent. It isn't luck. It is intelligence. It's their ability to shut down excuses and do the damn work. They don't wait until they feel like it. They don't wait until conditions are perfect. They get up and grind no matter what. They don't care if they're tired. They don't care if they don't have all the answers. They take action. And because they take action, they win. Most people aren't willing to do that. Most people are weak. They fold under pressure. The moment things get uncomfortable, they quit. They make excuses for why they can't push through. They tell themselves it's not their fault. They blame their past, their circumstances, other people, but that's all a distraction. That's all a way to avoid responsibility. No one is going to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. If you want something, you have to take it. You have to wake up every single day and make a choice. Am I going to be weak today, or am I going to be strong? Am I going to make excuses, or am I going to put in the work? Because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the bullshit you keep telling yourself. Comfort is the enemy. It's the silent killer. It's the thing that creeps into your life so slowly you don't even realize it's taking over. It starts with little things. You hit the snooze button one morning because you're tired. You skip one workout because you don't feel like it. You let yourself slide on your goals just a little, thinking it won't make a difference. But it does. Because once you start giving in to comfort, it becomes a habit. And before you know it, you've built a life around avoiding discomfort. And that life is weak. People love to talk about their dreams. They love to say what they're going to do, how they're going to change, how they're going to push themselves. But when it's time to put in the work, they fold. They back down because it's hard, because it hurts, because it requires sacrifice. They would rather stay in their little bubble where everything is easy, where everything is predictable. They don't want to struggle. They don't want to feel pain. And that's why they never grow. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength doesn't come from taking the easy route. It comes from struggle. It comes from pushing yourself beyond what you think you can handle. It comes from doing the things you don't want to do but need to do. People who win in life aren't the ones who have it easy. They're the ones who embrace the grind. They're the ones who understand that pain is necessary, that discomfort is a sign they're moving forward. The problem is we've been conditioned to avoid discomfort. Society tells us that if something is hard, we should stop, that if we're tired, we should rest, that if we're unhappy, we should quit. We've built a culture around being soft. We celebrate taking it easy. We reward mediocrity. And because of that, people have become weak. They've lost their edge. They don't know how to suffer anymore. The moment things get difficult, they break. They complain. They make excuses. They tell themselves it's not worth it. But look at the people who have achieved anything great. Look at the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the people who dominate in their fields. Do you think they got there by being comfortable? Do you think they took the easy way out? No, they suffered. They sacrificed. They put themselves through hell because they knew that was the only way to become something greater. They didn't run from discomfort. They leaned into it. They welcomed it because they understood that every moment of pain, every moment of struggle was making them stronger. You want to change your life? You want to be great? Then stop choosing comfort. Stop taking the easy way out. Stop letting yourself off the hook every time something gets hard. You have to train yourself to embrace discomfort. You have to rewire your brain to see pain as progress. You have to wake up every single day and do the things you don't want to do, not because they're fun, not because they're easy, but because they are necessary. It's not going to feel good. That's the point. Growth never feels good in the moment. It burns. It's exhausting. It breaks you down. But that's what makes you stronger. That's what separates the winners from everyone else. The ability to push through when everything in you is screaming to stop. The ability to keep going when your body, your mind, and everyone around you is telling you to quit. That's what creates greatness. Most people don't have that. Most people never develop that mindset. They spend their whole lives running from discomfort, looking for shortcuts, hoping for some magical moment where things will suddenly be easy. That moment never comes. The only thing that comes is regret. The realization, too late, that they wasted their time avoiding the very thing that would have made them great. Comfort is a trap. It makes you weak. It kills your ambition. It destroys your potential. And the worst part, It feels good. That's why it's so dangerous. It lulls you into a false sense of security. It makes you believe you're doing okay, when in reality, you're wasting your life. You sit on the couch, scrolling through your phone, telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. You avoid the hard work, convincing yourself it's not that important. And little by little, you lose your edge. You become another person who settled for less because they couldn't handle being uncomfortable. If you want to be different, if you want to break out of the cycle of mediocrity, you have to make a decision to do what's hard, a decision to suffer now so you can reap the rewards later, a decision to stop taking the easy way out and start facing the things that scare you, the things that push you, the things that force you to grow. Because that's where real success comes from. That's where real strength is built. Discipline over motivation. That's the difference between people who achieve their goals and people who don't. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. One day you wake up feeling fired up, ready to take on the world, and the next day you don't even want to get out of bed. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you will fail. Because motivation is not consistent. It comes and goes. It's weak. It's soft. It's the excuse people use when they don't feel like putting in the work. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Discipline gets up and does the work, no matter what. When you're tired, when you're unmotivated, when you don't feel like it, discipline is what gets you moving. That's why disciplined people win, because they don't make decisions based on their emotions. They don't sit around waiting to feel inspired. They show up every single day and do what needs to be done, even when they hate it, even when it sucks, even when there's no immediate reward. The problem with most people is they think motivation is enough. They watch a motivational video, they get pumped up for a few hours, and then they go right back to their old habits. They think they need to feel a certain way to take action. That's the trap. If you wait until you feel good to take action, you will never take action. That's why so many people stay stuck. They tell themselves they're waiting for the right moment, the right mindset, the right circumstances. But those things never come. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. Discipline is built in the moments you don't want to do something, but do it anyway. It's built when you wake up early, even though you want to sleep in. It's built when you hit the gym, even though you're tired. It's built when you sit down to work, even though you'd rather be watching TV. Every time you push through resistance, you get stronger. Every time you do something difficult, you prove to yourself that you can. That's how discipline is formed. It's not something you're born with. It's something you create through repetition, through struggle, through refusing to let your feelings control you. People who rely on motivation will never be consistent. They will always be looking for an external push, something to get them fired up. But what happens when that push isn't there? What happens when life gets hard, when things don't go your way? That's when discipline matters the most. Because when you are disciplined, it doesn't matter what's happening around you. It doesn't matter if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you don't feel like it. You still do the work. You still show up because you've trained yourself to be that way. Discipline is about making a decision and sticking to it. It's about committing to something and refusing to let anything get in the way. It's about saying, this is who I am. This is what I do, no matter what. And then proving it every single day with your actions. Not just when it's easy, not just when you feel good, every day. Most people don't have that level of commitment. Most people make excuses. They say they're too busy. They say they don't have time. They say they're waiting for motivation. That's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners don't wait. They take action. They push through. They get it done no matter what. Because they understand that success is not about feeling good. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The hardest part about discipline is that it's boring. It's repetitive. It's doing the same thing over and over and over, even when there's no immediate result. That's why most people quit. They want instant gratification. They want quick results. They don't want to grind for weeks, months, years without seeing progress. But that's exactly what it takes. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of thousands of small actions repeated consistently over time. If you can learn to love the grind, if you can learn to show up even when you don't see results, if you can learn to keep pushing when everything in you wants to quit, because most people won't do that. Most people will quit when it gets tough. Most people will wait until they feel ready. But if you are disciplined, you don't need to feel ready. You just go, you just do. And that's what separates you from everyone else. Eliminate distractions. That's one of the biggest things holding you back. You say you don't have time. You say you're too busy. But if you take an honest look at your life, at your daily habits, you'll see the truth. You do have time. You just waste it. You waste it on things that don't matter. You waste it on things that don't bring you closer to your goals. You waste it on things that make you weaker, not stronger. And if you don't get control over those distractions, you will never achieve anything great. The world is designed to keep you distracted. Social media, entertainment, endless notifications, useless conversations. These things are engineered to steal your focus. They're designed to keep you addicted, to keep you scrolling, to keep you wasting time. And you let it happen. You let yourself get pulled in. You tell yourself it's just a few minutes, just a short break. But before you know it, hours are gone. You could have been working. You could have been improving. But instead, you chose distraction. Distractions are the easy way out. They are an escape from reality. They allow you to avoid the hard things, the painful things, the things that actually require effort. It's easy to scroll through your phone. It's easy to sit in front of a screen for hours. It's easy to do things that require no effort. But none of that will get you where you want to go. None of that will make you better. None of that will build the life you say you want. Look at the most successful people in the world, the people who dominate, the people who achieve things most people only dream about. They don't waste time. They don't let distractions control them. They don't let other people's social media, entertainment, or meaningless nonsense steal their focus. They protect their time like their life depends on it. Because it does. Every minute wasted is a minute you will never get back. Every second you spend on something useless is a second you could have spent building, improving, growing. You have to train yourself to focus. You have to develop the ability to cut out the noise, to shut out the distractions, to lock in on what actually matters. That means setting boundaries. That means turning off notifications, putting your phone away, cutting out the things that steal your attention. That means being intentional with your time, knowing exactly what you need to do and refusing to let anything pull you away from it. People say they want success. They say they want to change, but then they spend their free time doing nothing productive. They waste hours on their phone, watching videos, playing games, doing things that add nothing to their life. And then they wonder why they're not making progress. They wonder why they're stuck in the same place. It's because they are distracted. They let their time get stolen by things that don't matter. And if you don't get serious about eliminating distractions, you will never get anywhere. People use distractions as a way to avoid doing the work. They tell themselves they need a break, that they deserve to relax, that they'll get back to work later, but later never comes. Because the moment you let yourself get distracted, it becomes a habit. You tell yourself just 5 minutes, but 5 minutes turns into 30. 30 minutes turns into an hour. And before you know it, you've wasted half your day. You have to break that cycle. You have to take control of your focus. That means being ruthless with your time. That means cutting out the things that add no value to your life. That means saying no to anything that doesn't serve your goals. It's not easy. It takes discipline. It takes awareness. But if you want to be great, you have no other option. Most people will never do this. Most people will continue to waste time, continue to let distractions run their life. They will keep making excuses, keep telling themselves they'll do it later, keep living in a cycle of wasted potential. But if you are serious about success, if you are serious about becoming the best version of yourself, you have to rise above that. You have to separate yourself from the people who waste time. You have to commit to locking in, staying focused, and doing whatever it takes to keep distractions out of your life. Take full responsibility for your life. Everything that's happened to you, everything you are, everything you will become, it's all on you. No one else. Not your parents, not your boss, not society, not your past. Just you. The moment you understand that, the moment you fully accept that, is the moment your life changes. Because as long as you keep blaming something or someone else, you will stay exactly where you are. As long as you keep making excuses, you will never move forward. Responsibility is power. The more you take ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your results, the more control you have over your future. Most people don't want responsibility. Responsibility means admitting that you are the reason you're not where you want to be. It means accepting that every bad decision, every wasted opportunity, every failure is on you. That's hard to face. It's easier to blame circumstances. It's easier to blame bad luck. It's easier to say life is unfair. And maybe it is. Maybe you were dealt a bad hand. Maybe life has been harder for you than it has been for others. But none of that changes the fact that your life is still your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to fix your problems for you. If you don't take control, you will stay stuck. People love to complain. They love to talk about how unfair things are, how difficult their situation is, how they wish things were different. But talking doesn't change anything. Complaining doesn't move you forward. It just keeps you in the same place, feeding the same weakness, reinforcing the same victim mentality. You have to make a choice. You can either focus on everything that's holding you back, or you can focus on what you can control. You can either waste time feeling sorry for yourself, or you can get up and do something about it. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. The ones who succeed take full responsibility for their lives. They don't waste energy on things they can't change. They focus on what they can do right now to move forward. The truth is, no one cares about your excuses. No one cares how hard your life has been. No one cares about the reasons you haven't succeeded yet. All the world sees is results. You either get it done or you don't. You either push through or you quit. And if you keep looking for someone to feel sorry for you, you will never win. Stop waiting for someone to understand your struggle. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions to start. Own your situation. Own your choices. Own your future. Most people are trapped in a cycle of blame. They blame their childhood, their environment, their lack of opportunities. They spend their whole lives pointing fingers instead of looking in the mirror. But until you look in the mirror and accept that everything in your life is your responsibility, you will never be free. Because when you blame other people or circumstances, you give away your power. You put control of your life in someone else's hands. And as long as someone else is in control, you will never be able to change. Taking responsibility is painful. It forces you to acknowledge your mistakes. It forces you to admit that you have been the biggest obstacle in your own path. But once you do that, you gain something most people will never have: control. Because when you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to change. You stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You stop making excuses and you start making things happen. That's where real power comes from. Most people don't want to hear this. They want to be told that their failures aren't their fault. They want to be comforted, not challenged. They want to believe that their problems are because of something outside their control. But that kind of thinking will never lead to success. The people who win in life are the ones who take full responsibility for everything, even the things that weren't their fault, even the things they didn't ask for, because they understand that taking responsibility is the only way to take control. You have two choices. You can keep blaming, keep complaining, keep waiting for someone else to fix your life, or you can own every single part of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. You can stop making excuses and start making progress. You can stop focusing on what you don't have and start using what you do have. That's the only way forward. That's the only way to build the life you want.